Nissan Bulavinaka, aloha kako. You are with PMN Tonga. We hope you're enjoying the program so far. Now, the Employers and Manufacturers Association, or EMA, is New Zealand's largest business service organisation dedicated to helping people and businesses grow. It offers advice, learning, advocacy, and support for more than 7,100 businesses as members of the EMA and also Export New Zealand. Joining us right now is the Chief Executive of the Employers and Manufacturers Association, Mr. Brett O'Reilly. He joins us on Zoom. He recently had the opportunity to travel to Tonga last year, and also he was there last month as well, and he's got some feedback for us. Maloilele, Brett, and welcome to our program.
Malolele, John.
Nice to have you on our program. Tell us about the reason why you went to the Friendly Islands.
Well, we're blessed at the EMA to have a Tongan on our board, Saya Mataeli, and Saya has joined us initially as a board intern and is now a fully fledged member of our board. And from talking with Saya and of course being aware of the impact of the eruption and then the tsunami, we basically said, look, we have a whole lot of services that we provide that may be useful for assisting Tongan businesses.
Fantastic.
We work a lot with New Zealand government agencies, so we took a small business mission up there last November. A number of New Zealand businesses in areas like fire security, like energy, like technology, and we signed a memorandum of understanding with the Tongan Chamber of Commerce while we were there. And we've subsequently, we're in the process of finalising a similar MOU with the Ministry of Trade and Economic Development, and really looking at how we can leverage some of the services that we provide in New Zealand for Tongan businesses, but also how we can help those Tongan businesses enter into the New Zealand market, how we can leverage some of the other work that we do to benefit Tonga. And I have to say, I was hugely impressed with what I saw in Tonga. Wasn't my first visit there, but I think that the resilience of people in the Pacific and particularly in Tonga is something that's well known to many of us. But to go there and see firsthand the devastation both on Tongatapu and Iwa, which were the two islands that we visited last year. But actually, people weren't complaining about it. People had moved on. They were dealing with it,
Yes.
which I think is a lesson for all of us. But I think also just the determination to, I guess, reimagine the Tongan economy.
Yes.
The from the Prime Minister through the cabinet ministers and the various people that we met, a real desire to create more job opportunities for young people and old people, I guess, but young people in Tonga, opportunities around, I guess, some of the traditional areas like agricultural products and food and beverage processing there, but also developing Tonga as potentially an area where New Zealand companies could outsource services to, a real focus on digital, new submarine cables, sovereign data centers. Just a really exciting blueprint. I think the Tongan Prime Minister, Sovaleni, is probably the only Prime Minister in the world who has a master's in computer science. And you can see that evidenced by this focus on digital and really shifting shifting the mindset around Tonga's development. Some great work being done by the Tonga Development Bank and a range of different agencies. So some of that work is familiar to myself and to other people that were on the delegation and at the EMA because we've seen similar activities in New Zealand.
Yes.
So we figure if we can help in that space, it's really important. The Tongan community here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, is a huge part of our society, and we're conscious that so much of the economy in Tonga relies on remittances. So everything we can do to try and build the resilience of that economy and the ability for people to earn good incomes there takes the pressure off our Tongan community here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, and elsewhere around the world. So it benefits everybody if we can get it right.
Absolutely. And there was also something I saw you did do a report on your trip, but something around the kava Tonga.
Absolutely. Well, we know that there are many things that make Tonga unique, and one of it is the quality of its kava. And so it was great to be on Iwa and to visit two of the main producers of kava, and to see that they're pursuing FDA approval, Federal Drug Administration approval, because Tonga kava is now in demand around the world um, as a natural pain reliever. And for those of us that have had a few high tides over the years, we can confirm that that's indeed the case. But just great to see that value add going into the product. Clearly, huge opportunities for us with huge opportunities for us with tourism in Tonga. I mean, it is, and as you know, such a beautiful place. Has probably dropped off the radar screen for New Zealanders, over the last few years with COVID. But when you go to Ewa, when you look at the images of Ava'u, even many of the places on Tongatapu, really exciting, and a real. We had some tourism reps on our delegation back in November, and we can see that there are some really great opportunities, and just a little hint: look for a pretty exciting EcoZip project for Tonga, which sort of came out of some of our discussions. So,
Wow.
and for those people that are familiar with the Mafana spirit of Tonga, then they will know that it isn't just a great place to go and see some amazing sights, but the Mafana spirit of the Tongan people is something that is you have to experience to really understand.
Brett, I'm just processing your Tongan passport, my friend. You're sounding more and more
Well,
like a local with your ma whānau and your speaking of the
well,
kava and
one other exciting thing, another little part of my trip is I've been involved with the sport of lawn bowls for the last well, for over 40 years, and I
wow.
am on the World Bowls Board, and my responsibility is as the regional director of Oceania. So we know that there are some great Tongan bowlers around the world,
Yes.
and so part of my trip was to look at how we can re-establish some bowling green facilities in Tonga and on Tongatapu. And I'm pleased to report that next week, um, from April the 14th to the 17th, we have a brand new international bowls event called the Digicel Oceania Challenge. It's going to be played here in Auckland, Tamaki Makaurau at the Blockhouse Bay Bowling Club, and Tonga will be represented with 5 men and 5 women drawn from the Tongan community around Aotearoa, New Zealand, and Australia. And so great opportunity for Tongans to see their team in action alongside 9 other nations from around the Pacific. Tokelau making their international debut. We've got an Aotearoa Māori team participating in an international bowls event for the first time. So lots of exciting things
Great.
in Tonga. And when I was there, I think there are a lot of people back in the islands who have played bowls in the past in Australia and New Zealand who are really looking forward to seeing that bowling green in Nuku'alofa. And we've got a site and we've got a plan. So watch out for more news about that.
How about that? I tell you, lawn bowls is one of those sports that it looks easy until you try it. And it's so difficult, and it frustrates me how bad I am at that sport. But I'm sure we have some really keen Tongan athletes or lawn bowlers that will take part in this upcoming event. From us, thank you so much, Brett, because of our time. Was there anything else you wanted to add just to wrap up our segment?
All I would say is malo pito, and thank you for the opportunity to just highlight what I think are some amazing opportunities and some amazing developments in Tonga. And certainly from our organisation, we're very committed to working with with agencies in Tonga and the Tongan people to achieve their vision.
Ho'e ki pamoe kāinga. That was Brett O'Reilly, Chief Executive at the Employers and Manufacturers Association of Aotearoa. Thank you so much, Brett. Take care. We'll catch up next time.